Hey everyone, so I know that these videos are more of a talk to camera style at the moment, but this is just what you're getting. I've got my thoughts on other things at the moment, even though I am at a point where certain YouTube videos are going to start to come together very shortly. But anyway, as the title says, today we're going to have another look back on Steam because obviously with the state of play, and there's been a lot of announcements about things that are coming up. We've got release dates and stuff like that, so we can sort of kind of plan out our future. Before I do that, what I'll do is I will give you a little look at my mice. So I'm pretty settled on what mice I'm going to be using to benchmark with now, which is going to be, first of all, the first one's going to be the Viper V4, which I think is probably, gonna have to cover my face, which is probably the most well-rounded mouse out there right now. And we've got the Obsidians on there, so they've come into stock, so I've put the Obsidians on there. And then its rival, the Supra to the GTR, the Super Strike, and we've also got Obsidians on this as well. So one's a low profile, and this one focuses on, you know, frame sync technologies, whereas this focuses on being totally transparent and is more of a hump style potato mouse, right? But I like it. And then as a control, we'll be using the invincible, immortal GPX2, and that also has the Obsidians, and that will be my control. And personally, what I use is the GPX2 Dex, which is the ergonomic version. You can see with the hump there, and that's my sort of like daily driver. And I've also got Obsidians on that. I just bought this M-Chose, can you see the name? M-Chose AX5 Pro Max in magnesium. So like I said, there are videos that can come up soon regarding like reviews and stuff or impressions. I did put an impression up on Reddit, and that rubbed the Reddit crowd the wrong way because they glorify Chinese mice and they're not perfect. But I kind of like it. The only thing I don't like about it is X-Ray Pad, as far as I'm aware, doesn't do full skates for it. So I'm going to have to go Tiger Ice. Tiger Ice do a set. So I'll go Tiger Ice on this. But yeah, you can see more about these later maybe. In terms of audio, I've also got that fixed for now, even though I still haven't found a replacement battery for my Bowers, which I do want because they are good cans. You know, there's no point in sort of buying a new set of good cans really when I have some beautiful Bowers. But we'll see. If I can't find some, I may go like Bear Dynamic 770 Pro X or something, the one with the detachable, but you know, still closed back. But for right now, I got a really good deal. Well, I got a good deal on this and the Super Strike and the Super Light. So this came in a bundle, in like a domestic bundle, and I got these. So I'm using these, and they have the what's it called, the Dolby. Wait there, I think someone's outside. Let me just go and have a little look. No, it's for someone else. Just someone beeping the horn out there. Can you see my dog? Hey, nothing. Come on. Here you go. That's my dog. And I called him Latte because of his colouring. He looks like a latte, you know, the cream and the coffee mixed. Because he's got a bunch of white in him as well. He's a good boy. Anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? This uses the surround sound, Dolby surround sound, which is like the virtual thing. But it's a good data point. And I've also upgraded my monitors. So I'm now using the Edifier MR4s, which are on the budget end, but I didn't want to go overboard. The speakers that I do want are the Audio Engine A2 Pluses, which are class AB. So they have a very distinct sort of mid-rangey flavour, closer to an analog than digital, even though it is fully solid state. But it's not digitized. It's very, it's still, can't really call it analog, can you? But it's solid state, right? So anyway, where was I? Things like this, I'm kind of ready to start showing off my setup, showing off what I'm using, because I'm kind of getting there. Probably won't be upgrading the audio for a while, but everything that I need I've kind of got to hand right now. Let me put my mouse back so I've got a little bit of room in front of me. But having all the mice, one of the things I was waiting on before I wanted to jump into Chronos the New Dawn, and replay through Resident Evil 9 and stuff like that was so that they all had the right skates on them, which they do have now. So there's that. I could go for like a death adder for myself possibly, but I don't think I really need it. I think that the deck sort of covers me. I mean, for my personal use, I really like the decks. So like I said, there is things within the YouTube that I will be expanding on. What's the word? Expanding, right? Tired today. I've just been out and done a massive shopping run. I don't know if you can hear it, but monsoon started, so I've tried to prepare the house. I've been clearing off all the gutters and basically just trying to get ready for those days where it's just easier to stay in than go out, and I'm lucky to be able to do that. So let's have a little look then. So first of all, we'll go into Steam, and then we'll look at Reddit maybe. Steam, I'm gonna have to minimize that so that I can get this up. I really do need like a what's it called? Something where I can just manually input the changeovers or something, but it's not drastically needed right now. So here we are in Steam, straight into my wish list. So these are the games from last year that I didn't get around to. So I never got around to Expedition 33 because I thought that was more of a sofa game, a sit down and chill game. And at the time I was using the PlayStation 5, not the PC out there, and I couldn't find a copy domestically, which is one of the other reasons why I ended up going PC. Wu Chang, I think I've already said, but I wanted to play Black Myth Wukong, Wu Chang, and then Phantom Blade when it comes out later this year, so I get a really good feel of what Chinese games are like and what Chinese games are doing. But I've yet to finish Black Myth, so I might just go from Black Myth to Phantom Blade and then touch back on Wu Chang at a future date. Mafia: The Old Country, I actually really enjoy the Mafia games, even enjoyed Mafia 3, and I might pick that up now. It's getting to the price where it's sort of a no-brainer. Dying Light the Beast, it's one of those games where like I want to play it, but I also have a feeling that it might be one of those like overly padded open world type of games, and I don't really know if I want to sign myself up to that. Octopath Traveler 0, I was really digging that, but then the writing was just a bit on the meh side, so I don't know if I am going to try and bother with it. And I've got a terrible track record of trying to get back into JRPGs. Diablo 2 Resurrected, sort of like nostalgic, but I think I would rather get Fatal Frame if I'm going for like the remakes. So Fatal Frame, the idea was to finish Silent Hill F, playing through here, and then if we wanted to carry on with the Japanese stream, jump into Fatal Frame, or if we wanted to look at something different, go into something different. Crimson Desert, I've been eyeing for myself personally as sort of like my chill out game if I wanted to chill out for an hour. Right now that game's Forza Horizon 6, but I've actually chewed through a lot of that game. I've actually built a few really cool cars on there, so I might try and get some screenshots and throw them up onto Reddit or onto the YouTube channel, so make sure to follow and wait out for those. But yeah, I've got some of my old cars, so like my old GC8 Impreza. I was never lucky enough to have a 22B, but my old GC8, I remade that in the game. My old EP3, I made that in the game, and then just a few ideas. Like I've always wanted an Evo 8, so I built the Evo 8 that I would buy if I was to buy one. But I don't think I'd want to own one here in Thailand because of how the roads are. And just overall maintenance of a vehicle like that in Thailand is going to be very, very, very hard because there's just no support. But yeah, I love Evos, so I've done a black Evo 8 with RPFs, and I think that just looks sweet. And then an F40, so obviously F40 is the poster child of supercars, and I've made one Battleship Grey, and for drift, and I used that for the drift sections of the game. I just thought it was stupid, and just like, yeah, sometimes you do stuff like that, right, just because it doesn't make sense and you never could in real life. What else have I built on the NSX? But that's basically stock. GTR, but that's basically stock. Cars that I could have afforded, but now not that I can't afford them, it's that, well, I can't afford them, I'll be honest about that. Like, I'm just not in a position to purchase one anymore. But if I was in a position to purchase one, I wouldn't want to put that amount of money into it. I think it's just surpassed what is, they're worth. So where was I? So yeah, Crimson Desert. I'm tempted to go for that as my personal, like Skyrim-esque type of just jump into it and play it a little bit. But I don't need that right now because Forza is that for me. Metal Gear, I'll be getting that 100%. As you know, I'm planning to go through the whole Metal Gear saga at some point this year, probably towards the end of the year, because we don't have GTA 6 coming out on PC, and I'm not going to buy a PlayStation just for that. So that might be like my tail end of this year, going through every Metal Gear game. Blood of the Dawnwalker is one of those games where the more I see of it, the less I like it. But who knows? We'll see how it fares when it releases. I don't feel like being the guinea pig for that game, but a game made by ex-Witcher devs is on my radar, obviously. Control Resonant, a little bit like God of War Ragnarok, just because of what the studio has done prior. The same with Ghost of Yotai and The Last of Us 2. It gets an immediate, I'll try it, because of what Remedy's done and how much I love Alan Wake and how much I liked Control 1, I'll get it and I'll try it out 100%. And I hope that, it's better than it looks, but they've won enough goodwill from me that I'm willing to just get it and see how it goes. And it could end up being like those Sony titles and being my last Remedy game. I hope not, but I kind of get that vibe from it. Silent Hill Townfall, Silent Hill, again, it's an immediate buy. I love the series so much that I'm willing to just experience what it has to offer, and I think that everything has a place, and that place might be Silent Hill 2, or it might be Downfall. So who knows? But I'm willing to try it out. And the pricing's right. Like Bart 1,485, whereas most are like 2,000. And then Onimusha Way the Sword, I've just downloaded the demo of that now, and I have thoughts. Like it surprised me. It isn't the game that I think it would be. So, like, I don't want to say I'm burnt out on sort of like Sengoku Jidai era games, but I'm kind of burnt out on Sengoku Jidai era games, which is nuts for me to say because, like, not so long ago we were starving for them. Or maybe maybe it was just Shadows. I think Shadows was just, you know, it flooded the palette, right? It flooded the palette. And also just Japan in general is everywhere right now, from Forza Horizon 6 to, you know, Rise of the Ronin, Ghost of Yotai. I think, yeah, I just had a bit of a, you know, mess spell with these kind of works. Neo 3 kind of didn't do it for me from what I played of the demo of that one. So maybe some unwarranted hangover there. But also, like, I think we've come to the point now where games like this, you can...
Doesn't matter.
Let me just turn the sound off. But I know that a lot of this is sort of PlayStation footage, but even running on my 5080 system, like, Resident Evil 9 looks like a next generation title. It looks like the breaking of a boundary, whereas this kind of looks like the end of a generation title, and we're getting that a lot. You know, it doesn't look as spectacular as I expected. And like Pragmata kind of gets a pass at that because Pragmata is 100% a parts bin game, whereas this feels like I'm not really aware of what's the one called, New Monster Hunter game. I haven't played that, so I don't know if it shares any DNA with that, but it kind of feels like it's its own thing, and I kind of feel like it's slow out the gate. Maybe if it came out last year, I would have been kinder to it. But you can see here what I mean. It doesn't have that. So it's got some of the like, it's not as visually stunning as I expected it would be, or expected Reach for the Moon title to be. It's a lot larger than I thought it would be, and it's a lot less Onimusha than I thought it would be. It's very sort of Souls-like from what I've played of it. Not in terms of... yes, it's leaning that way. Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'll stick with my assessment. Dynasty Warriors 3, it's been so long since we've had a real Dynasty Warriors game. So long since we've had a proper real Dynasty Warriors game. I'll be getting this 100%. This is just like comfort food for me. So yeah, 100% looking forward to that, especially at that price. And then this really shocked me because Call of Duty hasn't been on top form for a very long time. But I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered, and I am so excited for it. I think that, you know, speculative fiction doesn't really exist anymore in the video game world. You sort of, like, to get a mature game, and I've touched on this before, you have to jump into horror, perhaps sci-fi. Not so much fantasy anymore. But, you know, you have to leave the real world behind. Whereas this is obviously not the real world, but it's real enough. You know, this is in the realms of speculative fiction rather than pure fiction. Very, very excited to play this. Even though I haven't played Modern Warfare 2 or 3, so if they hit a deep sale, maybe. And I mean, it's an expensive game, so 2,000 baht. But yeah, I'll get this. I'll get this day one, 100%. And if I remember rightly too, Vince Zampella recently passed away in a car accident. So, you know, a lot of what Call of Duty is, and a lot of, you know, I don't think people really understand just how much of a rebel he was and how much he pushed things. So, you know, there's that. Then what do we have? Phantom Blade Zero, which, you know, it's shown a lot of itself. It's a little bit like Black Myth Wukong, where it's really not hiding anything. So we'll see if we're surprised by that when it comes out or not. But definitely a must play for me. Just like Lies of P, it just looks like a game I would enjoy. But look at it. Look at how jam-packed that calendar is. Like Call of Duty, that's a weekend game. That's not going to take me long. Dynasty Warriors Remastered, that's a pick up and play game for myself, not for the channel. Phantom Blade Zero, I don't know how long that's probably a 40-hour game. So I don't know. Is Onimusha going to be a Resident Evil 10-hour stint or not? I don't really know. Silent Hill Town 4 is probably a short one. So really it's going to be a battle between Control and Phantom Blade. Phantom Blade wins that one, I think. And then next year we've got Tomb Raider, which I think is very ironic because Tomb Raider was one of the first games to introduce remakes. Well, not really. You know, Twin Snakes maybe, and Resident Evil obviously on GameCube, but on PlayStation 2, so same generation, we got Legends, right? Tomb Raider Legends, I think it was called. So we have had a remake of Tomb Raider 1 already. So this is now... we've had a remake of Tomb Raider 1, we've had a reboot of the entire series, and now this is a remake that's rebooting the series. But it's very Tomb Raider 1. You know, even though it looks... look at it, it looks great. You can't say it doesn't look great. But you can tell, like, there's this one scene with the bear in the cave, and it's just like, yeah, that is 100% straight from the PlayStation, yet somehow looks fantastic. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I'll definitely be getting this. I know there's some controversy surrounding it regarding, they said they use AI in the making of it, and I don't know how much or how far into it that goes. But as far as I'm aware, it's also Flying Wild Hog that is... so yeah, Crystal Dynamics Flying Wild Hog, which... who knows how this will come out. I've just finished Shadow Warrior 3 recently, and that was alright. But I don't think Flying Wild Hog has ever taken anything quite like this on, so it'll be nice to see if they can do it. And then obviously we've got Metro with no release date yet. Instant buy this game. Talked about the trailer, and I replayed the first Metro after the trailer came out. That is how much I love Metro, but I didn't go into the second or third. But yeah, this is a series which is just like instant buy for me. I feel like it's again, much like, even though this leans more into the hard sci-fi, it's the mature game that we're missing, similar to Modern Warfare 4. I think that people need to hear the story that's here. Halo Campaign Evolved is the exact opposite, but it's just such a legendary game that, you know, like, what would they have to do for Halo not to shine through this? That's my thoughts. They would have to change everything for Halo not to shine through. They renamed it Halo Studios, have they? They love their renaming, Microsoft, but I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know who I'm going to be targeting. Like the obvious, the elephant in the room for backing of Banshee Interactive is Tencent, right? That's the elephant in the room. But as you all know, I'm an Englishman, and I would like it to be a Western game, even if it's made in the East. I think there needs to be a bridge. I think that if I went Tencent, it would just be an Eastern game. And everything that comes with it. Who knows? Maybe, maybe Japan. Maybe Sega. If not Sega, then maybe Konami. I don't think I've got a chance with Capcom. But you never say never. Okay, so then Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. Because I'm not playing it today, I'm not buying it today. I'll wait, it'll go down on sale. I'll get that for half price and I'll play it at the end of the year. Same with Fear Effect 2, it's just come out. I still haven't finished the first one. So either once I finish the first one, I'll buy this. It's the price of a coffee. Or I'll wait. Like Onimusha, I'll pick Onimusha up. Actually, I've been meaning to pick that up whilst it's on offer. But I'll get Onimusha 1 and 2. And I'll get the Devil May Cry games as well. And then I've pretty much got the entirety of the older Capcom games that I want to replay. Because I don't really want to replay the Resident Evil games. I feel like I'm a bit... Again, burnt out isn't the right word, but I feel like, we've been flooded with them. I want to see what else there is adjacent. Defiance, I've had it for years. I had it since it's come out. I thought, Legacy of Kain, even a remaster something. And I never played it. I haven't played Legacy of Kain 1 or 2. Defiance has come out and like it aggravates me because I bought that game because I wanted to show that we are interested in the IP. And what do they give us? Is it the same? Is it this? They give us this. Legacy of Kain Ascendant. What a pile of junk, and I'll say it straight up. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I don't need to play it to know this is not the Resident Evil game. This is not the Legacy of Kain game I want. Or anyone wants. This is not the Legacy of Kain game anyone wants. So look, very negative. Mostly negative. Out of 400 reviews. I'm surprised 400 people bought it. Girl boss Karen of a sister. Yeah. What the hell? It looks like some kid's school project. What to do? But I'll get Defiance. Defiance was a great game at some point when it goes half price, which it will. Same with these Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I love the Dark Alliance games. I still think that they look good. So obviously showing their age, but like I said, the visual language used, the art style, it holds up and it holds through. Love these games. Played the hell out of them with my best mate Sam. If you're watching, I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good back home. But I fucking know it's not. That's why I'm not in the UK. But we played the hell out of it. And then obviously the second one. But again, I just know it'll go on sale. Like it does. I'll just pick them up when they come on sale. Or if I fancy playing it tomorrow, I'll buy it then. I was thinking about repurchasing this as well. Absolutely love this game. Stray. It's better than it has any right to be on paper. But there's actually some... So let's have a little look at what games I've got. So these are my older games. Vermintide came in a pack with some other Warhammer stuff. But, as you can see, I just Where has the FPS gone? FPS, FPS, where art thou, FPS? Metro, Metal Gear. So this is all I bought this year, guys. So I bought Resident Evil when it came out, finished that. Pragmata, I'm about halfway through that. Still haven't finished it. I can't say I don't have the time because look, 43 hours on Forza Horizon 6. I can't say I don't have the time, right? Because when I want to, I do. Can I see my... No, these aren't my photos. I can't see my photos in here, can I? No, these are just achievements. Absolutely loving this game. So yeah, this is my Resident Evil collection right now. Which, like I said, I know there's so much more, but I've been flooded with it. I'd rather play. So here we are. So I've got this downloaded, and I've been playing through this. I've been playing through this on the sofa, but I just can't get into them. I have to uninstall it off my other system before it disappears. Then all the Xbox games. My Warhammer stuff, been playing Bolt Gun here and there just as a, when Dynasty Warriors comes out, it'll replace Bolt Gun for that, just like turn your brain off kind of thing, right? Survival horror, let's have a look at what survival horrors I have on here. I've got more on Epic. I used to really enjoy, unironically, I used to enjoy using Epic because, like, just look at Steam. Look at Steam. Onimusha just dropped a demo for free, and they're pushing. What the hell is this? Forza has just come out, and this is coming. Like, it's just so much crap. It's just so much crap on here, and Epic is the same. I used to like Epic because it would push those cool titles your way. But now it's just Steam Lite. So neither of them do I enjoy. That and Steam, you have to have like a card from your country to purchase through Steam. So if I want to use, like any of my international cards, then I can't use them on here, which I think is it's a failure. But yeah, RGG. So what's not in my wish list, and I don't know why, is Stranger Than Heaven, and I think this has the capabilities of being Game of the Decade. Let's just appreciate this moment.
ほいじゃあいよいよ兄貴組立ち上げるんじゃの。やっちゃろうや。兄貴なら絶対にてっぺん取れますけ。ありがとうな。けどそういうんじゃねえんだ。
So yeah, it spans multiple generations, forming of the Tohokan, and it shows, basically the post-war aftermath of Japan. And there's a lot of allegory with Japan. They don't tend to face these things directly. And then we had is it Godzilla minus one? Godzilla minus one. We had Godzilla minus one, which did. And then now we get this. So I think that it's going to be something very special. And not a single part of this is extraneous. Like the visuals, the character design, the fashion, everything, the color theory, the music. There is nothing about this that they didn't say we want to knock it out of the park. I think this will be the game of the decade. This is what video games are about.
That's the Japan you've been dreaming about.
Snoop.
This is Japan.
It's just immaculate.
道聞きたいです。
I think also, like, I've also got a dog in this race as well, because you know, like, my life is very much that way. Like, I'm an outsider in the UK and I'm an outsider in Thailand, so I very much feel the same.
Just what are we trying so hard to protect? 歌を食い物にして蒼天堀の帝王なんて呼ばれて、それでできた居場所ってのは俺の欲しかったものなんでしょうか。
Fantastic. Across the board 10s, I'm telling you.
What's your story? Just a poem for the Yakuza. Some things never change.
But this, like, obviously I'm not talking graphical prowess and visual style, two different things. Visual style, this is 10 out of 10. And, you know, RGG have never been one to really push the boundaries in terms of like that wow factor for visuals. But first of all, we don't know what this is going to look like on PC. It's probably going to look amazing if Judgment is anything to go by. And second of all, I think this is going to be a perfect case of, like, end of generation game. This is going to capstone this generation, I think. I really do think.
Obsessing over one man's death. That's no way to live a life. I know.
Probably it'll look a lot better than this.
But I can't just live it alone. If I don't settle this, my life can't ever begin.
Centipede, wow, you don't see that in Japan very often. Centipede is the lowest being.
Nice to know you're not scared.
What's a man gotta do for a little peace and quiet?
Remember my promise,
Yeah. He knows where it sits. Literally give me chills, this song.
We could always just make our home.
What a life this would have been to live.
It's the only choice we got. Our only way forward is to make a place for ourselves. That settles it, Makoto. If this country won't accept us, we'll carve out our own right from underneath it.
Game of the decade, folks. This will capstone this generation. This will capstone this generation, 100%. I'm calling it today. You can bring this video up whenever you like, but this is 100% going to be the best video game. Like, people are going on about GTA 6. This is what you want to be playing.
Come on, join the fun. It's our homecoming after all.
Song America! This is my home, and nothing's gonna change that!
This game is not going to pull any punches, folks. This game is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. and it's going to be one of the stories that I think is going to stick with us for a very, very long time. Like, obviously, Kazuma Kiryu, he's larger than life. I don't get that sense from any of the people in this. It seems like, you know, this is going to be dirt on your boots, ground up, bloody knuckles, and I can't wait for it. This is a story that the world needs to hear, I think. I'm very much looking forward to this. Everything, the music, the visuals, it is so well done across the board. RGG, if I had a hat, I would take it off to you. Add to my wish list, of course, don't even need to. But soon as it comes out, I'll get it. But yeah, the other stuff is so like I haven't played this. I did play the first one, but obviously it's sort of like an RPG. It takes the comedy aspects of the series, even though it does have some pretty hard-hitting moments. But how much is it? Like $12, maybe. I just know it's kind of a time sink. Yakuza 3 I haven't played for a very long time. Yakuza 0. I think I want to leave my palette cleansed, ready for Stranger Than Heaven. The last RGG game that I played was Lost Judgment, and I think that's a perfect place because that is such a good game. So I think that leaving it, like, there is the man who erased his name, but I think just leaving it at Lost Judgment, which I played on the PS4, maybe PS5, Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox One. Xbox One. No, what am I on about? Xbox Series. And if it had the crossplay, I'd be able to play it, but it doesn't. Xbox Series. Brilliant game. Looked fantastic as well. One of the first Yakuza games to look great. So what else is going on? Any other sales and stuff? So like I said, Mafia, probably going to get that. Atomic Heart is getting a load of stuff, but I just got fed up of it halfway through. I think about halfway through. Gothic, the remake as well, is coming out. It's a good price though. 1,000 baht, like $25. What a weird janky game that was. But yeah, I mean, it was of its time. Look at the nonsense. And I know that Gabe Newell is like, he wants it to be completely open, but Jesus. Like, censorship and critical moderation can coexist, right? Like, this is all bottom shelf, bargain basement nonsense, and it's on your front page, Mr. Newell, with full respect. So let's just have a little look at Resident Evil. So, you know, they're really cheap. But would I play them? And they're always on sale at some point or another. And this is what, like, this is a conversation for another video, but like, how can you retain IP equity when you're just devaluing your own product so quickly? Requiem's already down. This sold in droves. You have zero need, Capcom, to lower the price of this. First of all, it makes early adopters feel a certain way. And second of all, like, it's still the best game of 2026. There's zero need for you to drop the price of this. None. I would be having stern words with Steam and having it on the front page of Steam before I started dropping prices like this. But no, we get Soul Land Awakening or whatever crap. Oh, because I played Forza, now they're saying I want to play Assetto Corsa. Like, no. Steam Summer Showcases. Let's have a little look. So what are they showcasing this summer? What's this? No thanks. Look how far we have to go down before we see Control Resident and Mortal Shell 2. Two of the coolest looking games, and this is another one that I forgot to put in my wish list. Two of the coolest looking games in terms of just pure visual pizzazz. You have to scroll past junk, 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 junk before you even get close to this. What's Soul Frame? I'll have to look this up. I don't know what Soul Frame is. Okay, I'll have to look this one up. Oh, it's the Warframe thingy, right? I know what this is now. Could be good, could be not. But, you know, you have to go that far down to see, like, you know, that's Remedy. And then, look, more Utterly Lost. Hell. Southeast Asian games. I'm in Southeast Asia. Like, I don't want to be known as a Southeast Asian game. I want to be known as a game. Day of the Devs. Latin Americans. Ace Combat 8, that's the new one coming out, right? That looks pretty cool too. October, wow. Gonna have time for nothing. This does look good though. This looks really cool. But it all hinges on the actual plot line. It's gotta have a good plot line. So I think that to end this video, I will move us over to why is it not? Okay. So this is obviously my Reddit. And I've just done an open letter. Let's get my grammar right. I implore anyone who's got time to give this a read. I'm not going to read it on stream, but it's basically my thoughts regarding God of War Lao Fei, and piggybacking a little bit off of what Jaffe said regarding the game, his initial and untempered reaction to it. But this is a tempered and public stance that I've made regarding the game. But this year is, like I said, extractive practices of any IP hurts the worth of all IP. If they think they can, you know, dismantle God of War and sell it for parts, then what chance do any of us have. And as I said, you know, I am sure Lo Fei will be an enjoyable experience when taken at face value, sans God of War. So give this a little read if you've got a moment. Reddit is the minefield it's always been, and I'm too easy to bite because, like, I'm honestly trying to help, and I'm actually coming from a place where I'm not an idiot. You know, like, I if I don't know anything about a subject, I won't speak on that subject, which is the opposite of what internet discourse is, right? You know, it's the blind leading the blind. But yeah, I mean, I've tried to interact where possible, but I really need to, even now I need to pull back. And here it is, you know, I tried to give my thoughts on the mouse, and just the nonsense in the comments is just, why bother? And I just have to hope that the silent majority outweigh the spending capacity of the vocal minority. And it must, because if it didn't, everyone would be out of business. Okay, so I guess on that bombshell, I'll leave you with what I'm reading. So I wanted to get away from screens. You know, I haven't just said that I'm fed up of Reddit and stuff. I'm actively trying to get away from screens. So I picked up this Lovecraft short stories, big Lovecraft fan. But it's just to get me away from the screen. When I go to Bangkok next, I'm probably going to put away some money to try and get some physical copies of manga, because even when you're on the iPad, you know, it's just one slide away from all that crap. What else? I'll show you this before we go. So I've started on my katakana now. So I'm not fully proficient at hiragana. I still mix them up, and I'm still working on it all. But I have started on my katakana. So we're all the way through with hiragana. Just drilling my forms. This is off the NHK website, so I know it's correct, but I've said that before. I've shown this before. But, you know, this is one I haven't done yet. I'll do this now in a moment once I've finished this video. But I'm on to katakana now. And even though I didn't get any sort of benefit from trying to learn Danish on Duolingo, well, that's wrong. It's just that even though, like, it had its limitations, I find that learning hiragana is really good on Duolingo. So don't sleep on it. I also thought that my house was beginning to look like an episode of Scrapyard Wars, so I put up a bunch of stuff for sale. So I'm hoping to get that gone in the next couple of months. Nothing, like, if this was the UK, I would put it up as the cheapest one, it would be gone by tomorrow. Like, my whole inventory would be gone in a week. But Thailand isn't like that, unfortunately. So here we are, just more drilling, hiragana. I'm not right all the time, I make mistakes still. No more hiragana. Just really repetitive stuff that, you know, you think you're well past. It's just like going back to school, back to nursery even. So, you know, there's a lot of eating of humble pie that comes with learning a new language. You eat a hell of a lot of humble pie. when you're watching nursery rhymes on the internet and trying to learn along with 6-year-olds. Like, yeah, there's something very humbling about it. So there we have it. Chilling with David over. This is Banshee Interactive. I'm David Roberts. And remember, this is not a simulation.